Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we continue in Spy ANYA, where we are still doing this card game. Yeah, now as we said last episode, guys, this audio is being recorded after the episode because the audio was lost.
Yep. So we have to record the finale again.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking off camera about how it's interesting every time we have to re-record the audio. We actually have a lot more to say than we do when we're playing the game. So, let us know in the comments, do you prefer when we play the game, or like if playing the game and having audio at the same time as the game, so all the audio is about that episode, but there's also large sections where we're very focused and not talking? Or do you prefer videos like this where we're recording the audio over the video, we played that episode, so we know what's in it, and so there's stuff related to the episode, but we're also not afraid to just talk about other random things that have nothing to do with that episode, and we never have to worry about being stupid angry in the moment and pausing to focus on the game.
Yeah, I don't know about that, because I think it would just take way too long.
Yeah, that is the real problem, is we'd have to double record every episode. So it's not something that we plan to change, but I am interested to know if people prefer it that way or not. Because if we were ever doing this full time, we might consider doing that. It would just require us to do we'd basically record the episodes one day and then voice over the episodes a different day.
I think it's just additional work and we shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, again, if we ever were doing this full time, I don't mind saying, now we have more time to do things, let's do things differently. A lot of the decisions we make are related solely to, we have this set amount of time to do it, so we can't do certain things. For example, we have said for a long time, we would actually love to do a second anime. We just don't have time to record it, because there's a lot of anime that are very, very long, that it doesn't make sense to do as
just 2 days
on Saturday and Sunday. We would love to do a Monday to Friday anime. That's the longer anime. We don't have time to record that. But if we ever had an editor, then that means we don't have to do any editing, neither of us. So now we have more time, we could decide to do that. The same kind of thing happens if we were doing this full time. If we were doing this full time and we had an editor, I don't mind saying, okay, now that I don't have to do the editing, we can dedicate that time to recording, voicing over Let's Play episodes separately from the recording of them. The editor will stitch them together. And that's fine.
But that's editing every video. Sorry, that's recording every video twice. And then we have additional work, which is 2 different animes, and maybe even more than that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm saying this is not a decision we're making now. It's not going to come up next year. It's not going to come up in 5 years, probably. It may never come up. Because we're not doing this full time. We can't afford to. You can assist in that by donating on whatever platforms are in the description for you to donate on.
Yeah, but I just don't know.
That's not going to happen. I'm just more interested in seeing what the audience prefers. Because I think this is a fun experience where we've recorded the video and we were super frustrated in the moment. But yeah, because I think a lot of the times we screw up in video games more because we are talking and playing games. There is a phenomenon that is well known where if you're streaming, you play video games worse than if you're not streaming. If you play it on your own, you will play them better. And that's just because your brain is focusing on talking and you're doing acting and recording at the same time, and playing game at the same time. And your brain can't as easily multitask in that way, so you will fuck up on the recording of the game more.
I've never really had a problem with talking and recording. Like,
Yeah.
Except when I'm mad. When I'm mad, then yeah,
Exactly.
I will just focus on the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But otherwise, more than half the time, I usually have fun, unless it's certain games like Jaws.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Like, it's a game-by-game basis.
Yeah.
And in this game,
This game was not that bad.
sometimes,
Yeah.
like, the mini-games were a struggle. Some of the mini-games were a struggle, but most of the time, it was fine.
Yeah. But there is something to be said about the fact that we talk more when we're recording over a video rather than when we're playing the game. Because I tend to match the amount of talking you do. If you're not talking a lot, then I'm not talking a lot. If you're engaged, I tend to be more engaged.
Yeah, and this is also something we can't really help in streams. Because in streams, we'd probably talk more if we had more comments.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Having more people in chat also helps us engage more. That's just a game-by-game basis and a day-by-day basis.
Please go follow us on Twitch. We've been at 291 followers for, I don't know, the past 3 years.
Younger Bro is for some reason focused on how many people follow us on Twitch, where I'm just like, it's whatever.
I'm just surprised it just hasn't changed. If we hit 300, it was only for like a couple days and then it started going down.
Yeah.
I
mean, that is one of the phenomenon on Twitch. I was actually looking at a video, or not a video, a post talking about it. And they were saying, if you have even 10 dedicated people that show up every stream, then you are probably in the 99.9 percentile of Twitch. Almost every person has one or less people who show up to every stream.
Dang.
So it's just, it's not a thing that, yeah, it is a thing where Twitch does not have as huge of a viewership. YouTube is much better for because they save up the videos. YouTube is much better for long-term viewership. They get a lot more viewers because the video sits there for 17 years and people will still subscribe for that video 17 years later. Twitch can't do that because their videos last 90 days or 6 months or whatever, depending on what tier you're at. Like, they don't last more than a year, ever. So you can't get long-term viewers.
Yeah, guys, because we still get comments on our older videos, like Crash mainly, I think.
Yeah, we get comments on like, hey, this thing you said was incorrect in those videos, and we appreciate that. Now, there are some times where people make comments that we look back and we're like, we have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, because, again, it's been years since we played the game. It's like, dude, we played this 10 years ago. It's not been 10 years yet.
Yeah, but
still, we don't have any memory of what the heck you're talking about.
And that's why I don't think that we should comment back to every comment, especially when we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I just like it and move on.
Exactly, because it's like, I'm sure it has some... Sometimes I know it's a scam.
Or sometimes I ask them about it to
figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just like... But I appreciate when people comment and say, hey, this thing you were struggling with, this is actually how this works, and this is why you were struggling with it so much. And it's like, that adds value to other people who might use our video to be like, oh here's this
like
section
a
of the game.
walkthrough.
Yeah. Because there are people who watch videos solely to be like, oh, let me look through and see how to do this thing.
Yeah, like, guys, there are some series on our channels, and I think I briefly talked about this last episode, where we were the first to do, like, a full episodic style playthrough of the game. This is one of them. Spy ANYA is one of them.
Again, we don't know if that's true in Japan, but it's definitely true in the US. We could not find any other videos at the time, and there might still not be any other videos
that are episodic. I can check right now.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons why MLP is so big. Because MLP is so big because we did it first. We were the first one to have, like, real
No, we
images. No, not the game, but we were the first one to have like real thumbnails.
We
to
were
make
the
it
one,
look like
yes.
professional videos.
Yes, we were the
And
first
so
one with thumbnails.
People clicked on that, being like, "Oh, well, this is like a big YouTuber doing this game," and then the series continued from there. That's why that series is the one that still gets the most views today. Except for anime now. For some reason, anime is super huge.
Yeah, there are more playthroughs of the game now.
Yeah.
But we are still the only ones on the US server that have this series as episodic.
Yeah. Now, when you're saying episodic, do you include things like streams as episodic, or are you just saying, or are you meaning not one whole video of the whole game?
Not one whole video.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm seeing 11-hour videos, 5-hour videos.
Yeah.
Those are all I'm seeing.
I don't understand how those videos exist, because YouTube so downplays those.
Well,
they really hate long-form content.
Well, one of them was Gamer's Little Playground, so I understand his, because he just does all the cutscenes.
That's fair.
But
yeah, it's like, I know that YouTube really hates long content. They really like short stuff. I mean, heck, I think 30 minutes YouTube doesn't even like, because that's too long for them.
But yeah, I'm not sure. It's honestly also game by game basis, because you've been having a trend of series for a while. Because it kind of started with Metroid Prime. Your viewership on your series started to go on.
That one was pretty good.
And now Mario vs. Donkey Kong is starting to go up as well.
So far, that's only the first video, though.
But I'm expecting them to go up.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's like, it all depends on, there's no real trend to it. It's, popular games are obviously going to be viewed more than games no one knows about. But sometimes if a game is unknown, you're the only one that does it, and so anyone who searches for it finds you. So I can't even say don't play games that no one knows about, because sometimes you should play games no one but you knows about.
Yeah, like Lily in the Hollow was one of our games. I think that's kind of where it started, and then we did Aquarium. Because there were no playthroughs for Aquarium.
Again, probably only in the US. In
Yes.
Japan, I would guarantee there are playthroughs.
Probably because it's HoloLive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, what was her name? Aqua. I'm sure she did a playthrough of her own game.
I would hope she did. Maybe didn't do a playthrough, but at least do like she showed it off for a bit. I really hope she did promotion for it. It is her game.
Yeah, it is her game, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some series that I'm proud of. And I like how some of our only redo games, I like how they're getting more views now than they were back then.
Well, of course. That's because we have more subscribers than we did then. That's just going to happen.
Yes, but I wasn't expecting Jurassic Park the game to do as well as it did when we brought it back. Because when I first played it, only one of our videos got over 80 views.
Yep.
The rest got like 20.
Or, yeah, 20 or less.
Yes.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I did all the episodes in one each. And I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but again, I think it's that, and it's also just, yeah, we are a bigger channel now.
And people are kind of getting hyped for Jurassic Park right now. Mainly because of Jurassic Park Survival.
Yeah, the timing was probably better.
Like, dude, this is going to be a huge Jurassic World year. Because we got the announcement of a new Jurassic World movie, which is coming out in a month. And we also just got the announcement of Evolution 3. And for the longest time, it's been over a year now, of Jurassic Park Survivor. And we still haven't got it. But there's been new photos, so we are getting it, and we are expecting it next year.
Yeah.
So, I will be so happy when we first get that game. Because Jurassic Park the game is honestly, on console, it's the closest thing we have to a Survivor game, if you don't count Trespasser. but a newer style survivor game for Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park the game is closest we got.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking overall, I'd say Jurassic World Aftermath is what you guys are looking for. And nobody's talking about it. Why aren't we talking about it? It is such a good game. Like, I'm telling you guys, go either watch a playthrough of Jurassic World Aftermath or go play the game. Get yourself an Oculus and play the game.
Well, and see, right there's probably your problem. It requires VR. And most people don't like VR.
Then watch a playthrough of it. It is so good.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's like, I physically can't play VR. I wear glasses, and even trying to get specialty VR that would work with my prescription is not viable. So,
like,
I just physically can't interface with the game.
The newest Oculus that I have right now, the Oculus Quest 3, I don't have pain anymore on my head.
Well, it wasn't even just a squeezing problem. It was also just even if I was wearing my glasses while playing it, it still just didn't work right. Like it felt wrong. So I would have to have a custom Oculus designed specifically for my eyes. And I have no desire to do that to play a VR game. I was actually talking with somebody about this because I like the smell of coffee, but I hate the taste of coffee. And somebody was like, well, you should just drink coffee then because you like the smell. And I'm like, yeah, but I hate the taste, and it's going to take several years for my body to adapt to the taste to like it. And I don't want to sit through like 5 years of drinking something I don't like for the off chance that my brain eventually is like, actually, you like the taste of this now. And it's going to match the smell. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I was the same way, and then I started systems at my work. I'm like, no, I need something to make me stay awake. I'm like,
stress helps to keep people awake.
So
with coffee.
So our refrigeration units at our work do have Starbucks coffee in it. So I'm like, okay, I'll try a vanilla one. And I'm like, oh, I'm missing out.
Yeah, Starbucks coffee. The worst coffee you can get, but it's still useful. Sometimes you just need to have bad coffee. By the way, we didn't mention earlier, but yeah, we have now maxed the Eurekas, and it still plays the Get Eureka cutscene even when you have max Eurekas.
Yes, it's so annoying. It takes an extra second.
I think we've also at this point maxed out the raffle boxes, so there's no
the raffles are done. I watched us getting that done.
Yeah. So it really is just
the photos.
Sleep, do photos at this point.
Then go on outing.
Yeah, so it's very possible this video will be cut down to reduce some of the sleeping. We'll see.
Yeah, I talked to older bro about that when we were making this episode. I do remember talking about it.
And I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not yet. So you guys will find out now, because either the video's time will be 55 minutes long, or I've cut stuff out.
Yeah, guys, because this was a 50-minute episode, and it was the finale, so we didn't mind going over time.
Yeah. I mean, because if we did, it would be a 10-minute episode. Because these are 40 minutes, so it would have been like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was...
It would just been stupid. Luckily, there was nothing after the end credits that we had to do,
we were worried about post-game stuff.
We would just die.
But I was just like, we already did so much. I don't think they were going to do anything, and they didn't. Necessarily. They had some items that you couldn't get unless you had every photo. And that was just clothing.
Yeah.
That was about it.
There was a lot of stuff that unlocked.
And the clothing guys looked god-awful. You'll see.
Yeah,
it's
not good clothing.
By the way, I don't know if I've told you, but I've gone back to playing Pokemon off camera.
I don't think you did. Which Pokemon are you playing off camera?
I told you I was doing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire immediately after I was playing X along with us.
Yeah.
So I'm still on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm playing through it right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, guys, the only reason I'm playing through these games is because, A, I needed a chill game, and I was doing that with Resident Evil. Then, I don't know if I got bored with Resident Evil, or I just didn't have time to play it anymore. I didn't know what it was, but I stopped playing Resident Evil. And now I'm back to Pokemon. So, I'm playing through Pokemon because anything before Sun and Moon that we play on the channel, we have to have specific teams for because we need HM slaves.
Well, yeah.
Because if we do not have those, then the games are unbeatable.
Yeah.
Because I was playing through Alpha Sapphire, which is what I'm on right now.
Yep.
I only had 2 Pokemon. I was just making a team that I wanted.
Yeah, older games, that's not feasible.
Yeah, I had Gardevoir, and I had my Torchic. Sorry, I had Curly and Torchic.
Yeah.
I got to one of the, I think his name is Brandon.
Yep.
So I got one of the Brandon fights just before, like, the second or third gem.
Yep.
I couldn't beat him.
Nope.
I had the action replay in rare candies to level up my Pokemon to power through it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what am I missing? Oh, yeah, HM moves. I fucking forgot about that.
Well, there's that, and it's also, more importantly, type advantage matters way more in older games than it does in newer games.
Yeah,
so
like,
you basically have to go in with super effective moves. So it is not feasible for any games that have HMs. You just cannot play it with I only want one type. It's not that it's impossible. It is, but you have to do what you did. You have to grind your Pokemon to max level. And it's not fun.
Yeah, so I just had too few Pokemon. That was my problem. I'm like, okay, why do I have too few Pokemon? Oh, the Pokemon I get or want to get is at the end of the game.
Exactly.
Fuck!
So yeah, those games cannot be played that way. They just can't.
Yeah. So I have picked a team for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when we do it. I've picked one for Black and White when we do it, whenever that happens, and one for Black and White too.
Yep.
And I'm working on Crystal.
Yeah.
Next after that.
Yeah, by the way, when going through and getting all of the, because I got a list of RPGs, all the RPGs ever made, which is not complete. And I can tell it's not complete because, number one, it doesn't have any games from 2024 and above yet. And secondly, it didn't include any of the Pokemon redo games after the first ones. It only included Fire Red and Leaf Green. It didn't have Heart Gold. Didn't have Omega Ruby. Didn't have Brilliant Diamond. None of them.
None of them?
No. It had Sword and Shield. It had Scarlet, or it didn't have Scarlet and Violet, I don't think. But it had every game up to Sword and Shield that was a main game, including Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So it had the all first-gen remakes. But it did not have any other remakes.
What?
But it had Uranium. It listed Uranium
as
a game.
Uranium?
I'm like,
That's
are
a
you
mod!
fucking kidding me? Well, no, it's not a mod. It is a standalone game. It's not a mod for anything.
Oh,
That's
it
why
was a fan-made game?
Yeah, it was a full-on, completely unique game.
Ah.
So, like, it wasn't a mod for anything. That's why it got taken down, even though you can still get it. Once it's on the internet, it can't go away.
GG to Uranium, though.
Yep.
Getting on the list.
I think it's on our list. I think I wrote it down.
No.
But yeah, getting on that list. It's like, it's insane. Yeah. How the hell is it on that list?
Take another photo.
We're going really slow on this one for some reason. I might cut that one out a little bit.
I think there was some lag.
Could be.
I do remember that there was lag in this episode, and we had to close and reopen the game.
Yeah. Thank goodness we weren't voicing characters at this point, because if we had to go back there and revoice all the characters live... over the top of it, it would just be like, oh my god. We've done that before. There's been videos we've voiced over audio because we voiced it in the episode, and it's like, it's such a pain in the ass.
Oh, right. We had to do it for one of them. It was, I think it was a DDLC episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember doing that. It sucked. It really sucked.
Yeah. And now we move on to the resort.
Yeah, I guess this is sort of a visual novel game, too.
In a sense, I suppose.
Like, it has visual novel elements.
Yeah, but again, I think it's more accurate to say it's a photography game.
It really is.
That has mini games. Because, like, your dialogue choices literally don't matter in any way.
No,
not even. Like,
but even in some visual novels, it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't, but, like, it's also not really a novel. It's more just, here's this goal you need to do, and they have some dialogue that happens supplementary to that, but it's like, there's not really character development in this game. There's no conflict. Like, even in most visual novels, there's still a story that has, like, some kind of hero and villain, or some kind of, like, difficulties that you need to overcome, and, like, yeah, like, even in, like, ones where the choices don't matter and the decisions are set, you still have, like, oh, well, I don't agree with this character, and I don't, like, it's a story, and this has no story. It's just a setting. Like, it's weird to describe it that way. This game has no story. Because it isn't really trying to tell a story.
It has reanimated moments from the show.
Yeah, it's like, again, the
whole purpose of this game was probably to promote Code White, because that's when this game got announced, was around when Code White got announced.
I don't know if it's trying to promote Code White, but I think it's just trying to promote Spy Family generally. But yeah.
And for a Spy Family game, it's a fun game.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, it's kind of what I expected out of a ANYA Spy's Family game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not an action game like most anime games are. They're all mostly fighting games.
Yeah, which is weird, because this one actually could be a fighting game, given that you could play as Yor on her missions.
Yeah, because let me think about all the anime games I know. It's mainly Dragon Ball, which are all fighting games.
Yep.
And then there's Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a fighting game.
Yep.
One Punch Man fighting game.
Yep. To be fair, all those are shonen action shows. Those do make sense as fighting games.
Naruto's a fighting game.
Makes sense.
But
like Miss Kobayashi would not make sense as a fighting game. And I don't think her games are.
That was a bullet hell.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense as a bullet hell either, but
I would hope for something like this for Dragon Maid.
Story games. Like,
I would like that for Dragon Maid.
Yep.
That'd be great. There's Brighter Than the Dawning Blue, which is a visual novel, but it was Japanese only.
Yep, which means we're borderline not able to play it.
Unless there's a translated
Yeah.
version of it. I know Haruhi and what is it? Familiar Zero. Both of those are visual novels.
Yep. Haruhi, the franchise that still is very sad. That franchise basically was murdered by Endless 8.
Yeah.
Well, and the pandemic, which canceled the new season that no one knew about.
Poor Haruhi.
Poor Haruhi. It wasn't Haruhi's fault.
But yeah, I think this is one of the only anime games that is new that is not a fighting game.
Yeah.
because Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash also came out around the time this game did. All the One Piece games are fighting games. The crossover shonen games are all fighting games.
It looks like they are making a new light novel. Or a new... Yeah, a new chapter of Haruhi Suzumiya is coming out. But no anime yet.
Okay. That's good.
Which, again, is quite sad.
ANYA.
But yeah, I can't really think of many other anime games. Like, I can't. There's nothing. Like, Spy Anya is kind of one of the rarity anime games where it's not a brawling game at all, except for its minigame.
Yeah. Also, it looks like one of the things that might have killed Haruhi is the fact that Kyoto Animation doesn't actually own Haruhi. So it sounds like one of the things that Kyoto Animation now does is for all their new properties, they have to own the rights directly. So they're not licensing it from someone else. Whereas Haruhi isn't directly owned by them. So that also probably killed any further Haruhi content. Which makes sense why Kyoto Animation was not the studio doing the third season.
Oh.
Because, yeah, the third season that got canceled wasn't by Kyoto Animation. It was by a new company.
Oh, okay. But yeah, is there any anime games that you know of that's not a brawler? Besides Pokemon and maybe Digimon, those are kind of anime.
Well, I guess it depends on how new you're talking about, because there's a lot of anime games that aren't fighting games or aren't even action games in any way. But a lot of them are old. Like Hamtaro is an anime game, but none of those are based on.
That one's an RPG.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't even call it an RPG. It's just a very strange game. It's literally about going around and getting all your friends back and collecting words. But yeah, there's no, like, that's not a fighting game in any way. There's a couple like shooting anime games probably, but that's a lot of just like
there's Galgun.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. But that's not directly based on an anime, I don't think. That's just its own unique thing.
But there's also Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, but those are fighting games as well.
Well, they have fighting in them, but they're not fighting games directly.
Well, I guess they're turn-based strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, there aren't as many. I think it's either visual novels. So a lot of games that are slice of life tend to be visual novels, and a lot of games that are action oriented tend to be fighting games. And that's probably over 50% of all anime tie-in video games are either a visual novel or a fighting game. Sometimes a brawler, but we'll lump those in with fighting games for now. Other than that, yeah, there aren't that many I can think of. Trying to think if there are any notable examples that I'm about to play.
Speaking of Japanese stuff, there's a lot of Japanese style games coming out. Like, it kind of started with Assassin's Creed Shadows. That game was set in Japan.
Oh, yeah, Japan-themed games, yeah.
And then we just got a trailer for a Silent Hill game, and that one's going to be in Japan. So that looked really good. And I haven't even played Silent Hill. There was another game, but I can't think of it. And it was also going to be set in Japan. Yeah, speaking of Assassin's Creed, I'm sorry guys that's taking us so long to get to another Assassin's Creed game. I can't promise one's anytime soon. I was going to play Shadows as soon as it dropped, but I think we were busy with Far Cry at the time and I couldn't delay that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if we've said, but we have updated our gaming list to where we can now see what series we haven't played in the longest time.
Yeah, we did a lot of updates. And I'm still sort of working on it. That's why I'm doing my video game project, is I'm trying to update that list. And it's a lot of, like, there's a lot of stuff on it. The main thing is trying to figure out what game franchises we have played and haven't played in a while, because we do have some that are, I think our longest one is over 2,000 days.
And I'm guessing that might have been Senran Kagura?
No, that's only 1,100. Star Wars.
We haven't done a Star Wars game.
Because I don't include anything mobile. So, it's...
So you didn't include Vader?
No, none of that's counted. It's only stuff that has released as a Let's Play or stream. And so it's... The last time we played one was Jedi. Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order?
And so it's like, yeah, that's been a long time.
And with Survivor, guys, we just missed it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the case. I had no idea when it was coming out.
Yep. But yeah, so our goal is to try to bring back franchises we haven't played in quite a while and play them more often.
I can promise that we might get to a Star Wars game next year, but we will see.
Yeah. Yeah, because part of this is also related to the fact that, like, hey, Resident Evil was a game we played once, and we haven't played any of those, despite there's, like, 8 of those.
Oh, guys, I want to play another one now, so don't worry. We will be getting to a Resident Evil game this year.
Yeah. We also are shockingly haven't played a DDLC game in quite a long time, because we've had other games come up as visual novels for, like, our yearly thing. That's been, like, 700 days. So that's, like, over 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do a new one this year. But I do want to go back to DDLC at some point.
So yeah, that's the main goal, is try to find all the franchises we have a lot of games of, and track those so that we get we get as many out as we can.
Yeah, guys, there's even some franchises we haven't even started. Like, I know one of our biggest requested ones is Animal Crossing. We still haven't done that. And it's mainly due to my import. I'm sorry, guys. I really am.
Yeah, I think the Spider-Man tag is broken again, because it's saying that we haven't played it in 45,000 days, which is factually untrue.
No, that's untrue. We played that.
That's literally wrong. So I'll have to fix that again.
We played that at the start of 2024?
Yeah, same with DC, so I'm gonna have to fix that number.
For DC, I'm not sure. I don't think we've had a...
Batman?
We've not had a... Like, we had Lego Batman, but that was the last one I remember.
We just did the Telltale Batman.
Right, I forgot. Yeah, we did do that one.
Yeah, so that one definitely should be showing up.
And I do really want to get to the sequel of that game. But we just did a Telltale game, which was Jurassic Park Redo. Wait, no, sorry. Walking Dead. I only did Walking Dead right now, guys, is because Walking Dead was an option for it to be the 500 sub special, I think. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
And those options were games that had been taken off the scheduled list and put on the unscheduled list. And I really, really liked the Walking Dead Telltale series, and I did really want to play it for the channel one day. I'm like, when can I play it? When can I play it? 1,000 sub special? Sure, why not? It was on the list. It was on the list. It was on the list where I had my imports for a long time. And then I moved it off.
It would be interesting. I don't think I can go back far enough. It'd be interesting to see the original list, what we originally were planning to play for the channel and watch for anime from the first time, and be like, how many of those have we actually watched? Have we watched any of them or played any of them?
From the OG list, we were gonna try to Kill a Kill and
that's now
and One Punch Man.
That's been put aside.
And that was, we did watch both of those, but we put them aside because we fucked up on their recordings.
Yeah.
And we recorded 2 episodes of Kill a Kill. I remember that.
Yep. Don't remember any bits of it. I just remember I remember being unsatisfied with it. Like, in the same way I was unsatisfied with Kill a Kill If, but...
And then we did... What was our first anime? Fist of the North Star. Then we tried that, and we did much better on that one.
That one worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's like, I think outside of one notable exception, we have never ended a series, or we've never tossed a series because we weren't enjoying it. We have always tossed a series because we had technical problems trying to record the thing, and so we switched to a different game. There has been, I think, literally one exception, and I never remember it.
That was Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You were playing your OG Resident Evil, and then you weren't satisfied.
Yeah.
So we tried to do Lego Star Wars Complete Collection. You were unsatisfied, so we didn't do that one.
I think
that one we were both unsatisfied.
One of those, at least one of those, was a technical issue.
That was Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then we tried Metroid Prime, or OG.
That also was having some technical issues.
No, I just think we got bored of it.
Yeah, no, I remember what that one was. We kept getting stuck in the first room. In that first fight, where the water rises up. We had some issues getting out of that room. Because I completely remember that having been a problem. Why I couldn't beat that game was that I couldn't get out of that room for some reason. But yeah, I think there's only been 1 or 2 examples where we were unsatisfied playing the game and we gave up. There was another series that has never aired. And I think we've only talked about it a couple times, which was the no longer MLP fighting game.
Oh yeah, I forgot
recorded,
about it.
Got completely stuck on a boss and couldn't progress, and then it turns out that the game devs, or we were like, okay, we'll switch to the Switch version because I think this is a controller problem. Then they canceled the story mode for that game, so it's not continuing, and so I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, guys, them's fighting herds. We just can't play.
Yeah, that game. I think that game franchise suffered from scope creep so badly. They needed to just calm the fuck down and finish the story, but they kept being like, here's the new expansion with all these extra moves systems. And it's like, it was just too complicated. They needed to calm the fuck down. There's the photo.
But yeah, Them's Fighting Herds is the more recent one that we just canned.
Yeah, luckily that one we errored early in the series so we could re-record it.
Well, we just moved on to the next series after that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that it's not like something like the racing game, Burnout, where we were halfway through streaming the thing and couldn't complete it. We luckily just didn't air the thing ever because we got stuck so early.
With Burnout, we were actually progressing pretty well. Like, we got to basically the end of the game, but I just could not do that one Grand Prix because it was so bad.
Yep.
And Jaws Unleashed, that was another case where we were at the end of the game, couldn't progress, and same with SpongeBob. In fact, it's been all the games that we couldn't complete. It was Sonic, it was SpongeBob, it was Burnout, and Jaws. All 4 of those games that we played, we got to the end of the game, and we could not beat the final boss, the final level, whatever. We got to the end. And we just couldn't beat it. Yeah, so how many games are we up to at this point where we couldn't finish the game?
Ask that again? I mean,
how many games are we up to at this point where we couldn't finish the game?
let me check.
Because offhand, I can think of 4.
We are up to 5 that we have released. So we could not finish Sonic Unleashed. We could not finish Jaws. We couldn't finish Burnout. We couldn't finish SpongeBob. We couldn't finish Poppy.
Right, Poppy Playtime.
And then we couldn't finish Them's Fighting Herds and didn't release it at all. I think there was another game that we couldn't finish and didn't release at all.
No, Them's Fighting Herds.
But that, yeah, so there's 5/6 games that we could not finish and didn't release. And either didn't release or didn't just stop.
Yeah, out of the... Yeah, we're in the hundreds of games that we've played on the channel now. Having only 5 we haven't completed.
Oh yeah, I can give you... Give me a second, I can get a count of that.
この課題は各自の生活に優劣をつけるものではないぞ。そしてアーニャ・フォージャー、提出した課題についてだが、誤字脱字が多すぎる。文字が汚い。もっときれいに書くことを心がけろ。だが、家族と過ごす日々、それをフォージャーが心から楽しむ様子はよく伝わってきた。その点は実にエレガントだ。アーニャ・フォージャー。マジかよ。アーニャ先生に褒められた。くそ。なんであんな奴の絵日記が褒められるんだ。もちろん皆の絵日記も同様に素晴らしい。イーデン校の生徒にふさわしい実にエレガントなものだった。ってことがあった。
We have now this list counts when we've come back to games. So we have had approximately 231 times that we have played, like we've done a successful new game. I'm gonna guess that again, probably it's somewhere around 200 actually unique games.
200 games.
Yeah.
Dang.
And again, to have 5. So yeah, that's a 2.5% error rate. Like, I think we can take that.
Yeah, and we're approaching 6,000 videos on the channel.
Yep.
That's insane. And it's gonna go up even more when we bring back mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't played mobile in a while, and that's I mean, probably not going to come out this year. We'll see.
Yeah, guys, we're now expecting mobile to come out at some point next year at the rate I'm editing.
This is, yeah, and like I said to Younger Bro, this is the fundamental problem we have with a lot of these kinds of videos, is that the series that we hate the most, and I say hate with in quotes, is hot takes and mobile, because both of them require, hot takes requires like 5 hours of watching and recording and editing. The mobile takes months of recording and editing.
Yes.
Like, they are the
months.
worst games for us to play because of how we have to record them. So, we've never talked about whether or not we should just completely can mobile games entirely. But it is something in the background where we've been like, we hate these games. They take so long to record. It's just like,
no,
Younger Bro should not
hate
have
them.
to. Yeah, well, I know you don't hate playing them, and I know you don't hate, like, you may not even hate editing them, but it's
no,
like, it's just
just having
the length
the
of
time
time
to do it.
Yeah, it is so time intensive that it's like, if we play this game, this takes an hour.
I hated these.
Maybe an hour
outfits.
20. Yeah, these are very awful outfits. But these take an hour 20 at most if it's a 40-minute episode. An hour 20 of recording and editing. That's it.
Yeah, for me, it can take up to a whole day to edit one of the videos I'm editing right now because of how I have to do the series.
Yep.
But if I get time during the week, I can cut that time a little bit and at least get through one video a week. But actually, I've been getting through about 2.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, meanwhile, I have to get through like 9 videos a week. So I have 3 separate editing days that have at minimum of 3 videos a day. And it's like, but yeah, it's the Younger Bros series is so difficult. And hot takes are the same, where we have to record them on a Saturday or Sunday. Or we have to watch them on Saturday or Sunday, record the audio on Saturday, Sunday, to get them up on at latest Wednesday. Because we try to get them up on Monday and often can't.
But yeah, guys, I've actually progressed really far in editing, and I do actually expect it to be done some point next year.
Yeah.
So, at worst, right now I have to re-export a couple of the series that we have.
Yeah. All right. And that's all the outfits and all the content.
Yep.
Game is done. There you go.
All of it.
All of it there.
Done.
So, guys, that's going to be it for this episode in this series. We'll come back next time with a new game.
I'm so excited.
Until then, the future is very uncertain. What is certain is you guys are awesome, and there'll be more Two Bros Game Night tomorrow. See you then.
Goodbye.